Thank you very much, guys. I think Uphill Battle describes it fairly well, gentlemen, in terms of the predictions. I think you hit the nail in the head.
Battle, upstream, up anything else we can possibly think of, because this is just...
So,
yeah.
what I want to ask you is to take us through, let's say, the first 3 to 5 minutes of the game and just go through how it actually started to go downhill for Elo Jail.
I think it just kind of started off... It was just skill discrepancy across the board. I mean, we saw solo kills constantly. You got it in the mid lane with the Cassiope, you had in the bot lane, the Lucian and the Karma picking up kills onto the Nami. And even they had the opportunity there as well, even to pick up a very early kill as well in the bottom lane, but they just decided not to use flash. It's just, there was so many times that it just ended up falling into their hands, and we're going to see it in the replay that we have here, which is just the first solo kill for First Blood coming out from Maskov, which was so well played. Yeah,
you can see here, Cassiopeia pretty much just walks straight up to him. He's below half mana at this point, so I think Matongo thinks he can try walk up, try maybe punish that, or try even attempt to farm, and has to pull really early, afraid of being spammed down with the Twin Fang, and then sees the opportunity here once the Blood Rush falls. He gets the flash forward, and you'll see it here now in a second, with the flash ignite E, and it's just, that was the hardest kill in the game. Once you get that first blood, it just quickly snowballed out of control, and those kills were much easier to find after that point.
Yeah, and I think that speaks a lot to the likes of Maskov and the guys that we're dealing with here. That was basically to the T what he needed to do to kill Vladimir in that situation, and he knew that even though the Vladimir had flash, he was going to secure that kill anyway. And I think that just kind of speaks volumes about what level these guys are at.
Yeah, and I think we're definitely seeing a big level difference there as well, which is the big struggle for these guys. But you saw the Cassiopeia just continued to pick up kills, even attempting to 1v5 it.
Yeah, and it was such a clean finish out as well from these guys. You could see, like, they went for the tower dive at about the 15.5-minute mark, and they're picking up several kills there. That was the last outer turret. Then it was just continuous pressure coming through from Maskov in the mid lane, meant that they were free to roam, pick up the towers in the top and bottom, and just, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a team go in on one push with Baron and take all three inhibs at pretty much identical times. It was just a three-way push that picked up every single one, and the ELJ were just sitting there going, there's nothing we can do here. We just got to give all this up.
You could see that, especially when Matongo was even just trying to walk around the map through his own jungle. Just constantly picked off, and you could see, wasn't even attempting to flash half the time. It was just like, there's nowhere for me to go. I could just die here or die over there, basically.
What I really like, though, is that even though we expected buff Jinx to be favorable in the lane matchups, we even saw the Nautilus early lock-in from Elo Jail, and we expected something like the Darius picked up on the side. But no, they respect their enemies in a way that they pick up the Shen, go full in for these macro plays, and just make sure nothing can go wrong.
I would say the draft was extremely respectful. Yeah, you did see really good waiting to get your counter picks, respect bans of things like the Bard as well, so they knew what the strengths of their enemy were, shut them down, and shut them down in-game using those picks perfectly.
But I think as well, I mean, if we look at the mid lane, they picked the Vladimir full-on knowing that they were going to be picking that blind, and that was not a performance that really speaks to a guy who's played a huge, like, yes, he's probably played a huge amount of Vlad, but not comfortable in that matchup. He had no idea of the damage Cassiope could put out. He didn't know really how to deal with it as well, and that's something you need to do and need to understand if you're going to be picking the Vladimir blind into something like a cast, or even like the Rise or something that's going to come out against you.
Usually we have seen the Vladimir being locked in, so to deny the enemy from picking up the likes of Syndra, for example, who have those amazing bursts, but it doesn't really work against the team who is so comfortable playing almost anything into your matchup.
Yeah, specifically, I mean, Cassio is one of like his top 3 champions for Maskov, so real big struggle knowing you're going against someone who can really punish that style of pick.
Yeah, and with this in mind, we're going to be going for a short break before we head into Game 2. So I'm really looking forward if Elo Jail can potentially still turn this around and give us the upset we've all been looking for. Because if it goes the way we expect it, then every single quarterfinal has ended 2-0, which would be a bit of a letdown.
Happens.
Happens. With that in mind, we're going to be going for a short break, and we'll be back with game number 2.